Okay, so we've been breaking down this entire fifth inning, one of the craziest fifth innings, or any inning that you'll see in a playoff game or a World Series game, unfortunately, for the Yankees. We've made a bunch of videos. Go check them out, breaking down each play in this inning. So now Freeman's hit the single to center field. And so we've got first and third. We've still got two outs. And the Dodgers are down 5-3. Teoscar Hernandez is up at the plate. We're going to show the play. I'm going to zoom in here in a second and talk about what happened. We're going to show exactly how the defense was set up. First thing I got to say is great job by Hernandez, because he goes down 0-2 early, and then he takes a slider that's just off the plate. I think it's like 90 miles an hour. It's just off the plate, and you can see it's like a great take. If he chases that ball, boom, inning's over, still 5-3. But he takes the pitch, and then he gets another slider, and he ends up hitting the ball deep to center field right here. So let's watch the play real quick. So here is the pitch. Ball is smashed. Judge going back. Just gets over his head. He's going to grab it. He's going to throw the ball in. And Freeman, on his bad ankle, although his ankle is much better, he's running much better, he's able to score. We tie the game up. Huge at bat, huge hit, good base running, and we tie the game. So let's break it down real quick. Couple of things. We'll look offensively first, and then we'll go defensively, because the Yankees, I've watched a couple of these plays, and anytime a ball gets hit over their head, they set up their tandem relays to home a little bit differently than I would set them up. Again, I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, or maybe just some guys aren't moving. You can see some guys, in my opinion, are a little bit out of position. Not that it made a huge impact on this play, but it could potentially make an impact on a play. But again, let's look at the Dodgers real quick. So first thing, we'll watch Freddie. He's the most important runner at first base. Guy at third, he's scoring regardless. Like, he's just going to walk home. So I actually think watching Freddie, his secondary lead, he lands a little bit too early. So typically what I teach on secondary leads is you want to actually be in the air and you're just coming down as the ball is being struck. That way you don't land, stop, kill all your momentum, and then make the read. Especially, there's two strikes here. Now, you don't want to get backpicked, obviously. So you want to have an aggressive secondary, but you can't be so aggressive that you get backpicked. But Freddie gets down really early. If you watch Freddie here, so he goes two shuffles. See how he lands and the ball still hasn't even been contacted yet? So we're going to go back again real quick. So secondary lead is two shuffles. So here's the two shuffles, and he lands early. And you'll actually see when the ball is hit, he steps kind of back towards first, and then he gets going. So he doesn't get the greatest secondary lead. He doesn't get the greatest jump in the world. Now, luckily, he still makes it, right? But that would be like something small. Again, you might say that that's nitpicking because he still makes it. But I do think that he could have gotten a little bit better secondary lead. Just time it up a little bit better. Again, secondary leads are the one time where I'd rather you be a little bit late coming down than early. Because if you come down early, you completely stop. And you can see how he stops and then he kind of steps back and then he goes. Versus you're reading that thing just as you're coming down, you're reading it. And then the second you hit, like you're already off, you're flying. So that was the one thing from an offensive perspective. Now, from a defensive, this is another kind of interesting setup defensively. So once the ball is struck, so here's the ball, it's crushed. Now, typically what's going to happen is on this play, when you have a man at first, and just disregard the guy at third because he doesn't matter at all here. So we got two outs, man at first. We're going to set the cut up to home. Right? Anytime you got a man at first with an automatic double, so the ball is hit over somebody's head or it's hit right down the line, and we're not playing it like Fenway or something when the ball's hit the left, you're sending two cutoff men out. You're sending your middle infield. You're sending the shortstop, so Volpe's going out, and you're sending Torres out. And so you'll see Volpe starts to go out, but you see Torres is just standing there. So Torres isn't going out right now. And then typically, at least what I teach and what I was taught for pretty much all 5 major league teams that I played for is that the first baseman, right? So what you're going to do if you're Rizzo is I teach you get inside, you look and see if he touches first base. Now, you got a million cameras now, so you can pretty much challenge anything, but I still teach the first baseman. You're going to watch this guy right here. Make sure he touches first, Right, so I'm going to make sure he touches first, and then once he passes me, now I'm going to trail him. So I'm going to be on the inside, because as he makes his way to second, if he takes too big of a turn, I'm going to be trailing him, and we can throw the ball here, cut it off, and tag him out. We sent 2 guys out here. We made a video about this not that long ago about the Yankees, because they did the same type of thing. It was a little bit different play. It was on that play where Torres kind of tried to pick the ball at second base, missed it, and then Shohei moved to third, and then Mookie hit the sac fly to score him. But you can see Glaber come over late, right? So he's like standing here. He's like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be the tandem guy. So he gets over here. He gets over here late. What I would have personally done is, I know Judge has a cannon, but I would have probably sent Volpe out a little bit further. And then if you're Glaber, you got to get in behind them. You're about 20, 30 feet behind them, but you got to get over here earlier. Like, your job is to be the shortstop eyes. You're trying to set him up to home. He ends up getting in a pretty good spot right here, but you're his eyes. You're helping communicate. You're relaying the call from the catcher. You got to think, it's like really loud in the situation. Crowd's like freaking out. I know it's a home game. If it was in Dodger Stadium, they would be going absolutely berserk, and then it would be really hard to hear. But still, a lot of people in here, everyone's probably dropping F-bombs at this point. And so you got to get over there, get lined up, and you can see this ball ends up being thrown a little bit short. Now, Volpe does a really good job of making the pick and the throw, which, again, he beats anyways. But I would have been, again, a little bit further out. Torres has got to get over earlier and get him lined up. And now he pushes out a little bit. So now you've got 2 guys there for the cut. A general rule for the cutoff man is, I want to try to catch this ball in the air. So I'm trying to get momentum, right? So you can see like Volpe's trying to get momentum going home. That's why he shuffles. But then he has to pick the ball. So if he was out a little bit further, you can adjust a little bit more. It's a long throw, so you can move out. You can adjust. You can start to move now back towards the catcher. You catch the ball in the air, and you make the throw. Now, the other things, again, if I personally would like to have Rizzo trail. Now, I don't know if they like him kind of working in the middle here to be like another cutoff, but he's late doing it anyway, because he's kind of like standing here watching. Now he's coming over. You also got Garrett Cole standing in the middle of the field. He should be backing up home. So he should be home, because if this ball comes in and doesn't get cut and the catcher misses it, now the man at second goes to third base. So I know he's probably pissed. Like, this inning was long. It's frustrating. He should have been out of the inning like 20 minutes ago. He threw 20 extra pitches this inning. So I know he's probably pissed off, but he's got to go back up home plate. And then you got Rizzo here, and then you got Cole almost going into a full split, because he's like, oh, shoot, the ball's over here, and then he almost pulls a groin. And so you got like all kinds of crazy stuff going on right here. So not that any of it really ended up impacting this play, because Freeman was safe anyway, but these are just like small things that I think, if the runner maybe slips a little bit, if he doesn't get a good read, if he's a little slower, like, every inch counts. So I just think it probably wasn't set up the greatest way defensively. And then we talked a little bit about Freeman and his secondary lead. So those are kind of the main things that I see, again, on this play. Let me know what you think. There's always lots of stuff that I miss, so put it in the description box below. But this was it. This tied the game. And then Dodgers later take the lead 6-5, and that's all she wrote. Dodgers are the World Series champions. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We got Soto as a free agent, where he goes. Yankees were so close, but I think we're exposed a little bit at times throughout the World Series. So didn't play their best baseball, and obviously didn't play their best in this inning. Far from their best. So let me know what you think. That's all we got. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. We'll talk to you later.